busy making a mess again. 2 more sockets to do. Front, one around the back. A few more holes, a little bit of wiring. Right, I wasn't really going to video the build. I got a wardrobe after we moved. We didn't need a wardrobe. It's an old knackered one, so I've just cut it all up to make a box. So I work out for the flat lid, the one that overlaps around the outside. It's not for outdoor use, it's for indoor use. USBs, kill switch for the battery, 2 45 amp hour batteries. On this side, bus bar for negative, and a brass 4 blade fuse box. Obviously for 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll put a socket in the back to charge it. I've got 3 inverters. I'm just trying to work out which one I put in there. So this might not be the whole thing, and I was going to paint it like green or battleship grey. I don't know. All I know is I'm making a mess. The cat was there, covered in sawdust. But he no longer likes the cage I built on the window to keep him in. He legged it. So I've got some blocks of wood in there to hold the batteries still, a little divider. Needs hoovered out because I put the batteries in, then drilled the holes for those. But yeah, just an old 10 amp charge controller, 60 amp breaker switch, isolator for the battery. Put these on a 2 amp fuse. I'll put these on a 3 or 10 or 5. Well, no, that's what we've got so far. Oh, and caster wheels. This wardrobe had casters on the bottom, but they don't come off. So I need to get some caster wheels for it. Caster wheels, some sort of wheels. And a lid. Right, so on the back, can't see for sawdust, we've got a 12 volt socket. And that's the inside of the front there. The batteries are ready to rock and roll. From the negative output on the charge controller, going to run the negative terminal bus bar and then to each socket. I know, I was going to, yeah, each socket. And the positive for the charge controller is going to go to the fuse box, which is then each fuse will go to each socket. Does that make sense? I haven't planned this, I just, years ago I wanted to do it, I've done so many different things and builds. But I normally have a solar system for my needs, and like the last one I needed it in the motorhome, so it's built into the motorhome. But I think this one I need it to run the shack and in the car for camping. So anyway, enough chit chat, let's start badly wiring things up with spade connector things and crimping things. Working conditions are so cramped. Got a toolbox on the floor, a wall here. I haven't got plenty of room. So a small passageway in the back of the house. Yeah, no measurements at all. I'm just screwing it and drilling it as I go. I've already hoovered it out once and then forgot I need a hole at the front for the wires to go. Metal toolbox, so I've already ripped my jeans. Left the drawer open. Right, so the fuses are in the fuse box. I'm going to go 2 amp for the USBs and 10 amp for the 12 volt sockets. 60 amp breaker, which will just be an isolator if I need to kill the entire box. Push the button and I'll disconnect the battery from the charge controller. And then everything will run for the on and off button on the front of the charge controller. We'll see. That's for the socket for the solar panel. Just put an inline fuse on it, just a 10 amp. I'm only going to use it with like a 3-4 amp solar panel, or my 200 milliamp triple charger for the house. Alright, that one goes to the output on the solar charge controller. I might put another 12 volt socket in, going directly to the batteries for anything with high amperage I want to run. We'll do that if we need it. We'll adapt the box as and when. And the negative for the solar charge controller. I don't know why I'm telling you. I don't know why I'm showing you. People always comment and go, "Oh, you never videoed it being built." That's what happened with one a few years ago. I knocked one up in about an hour in my old house, in the hallway, bottom of the stairs. And yeah, before I know it, it was done. Didn't take long. But by heck, people got offended when I didn't video it. So we're videoing this one. It's only that much too long. I'll trim it. That's some cable management. There's a negative in the negative bus bar. USB port. Right, we're getting it. I'm going to tighten up positive on the battery. Lights are on. Alright, got it plugged into the trickle charger at the moment, and you can see 0.4 amps coming in and nothing coming out. We'll plug in some stuff here to test. USBs. Sorry for the reflection of the light. There you go. Fluctuating between 1 and 2 amps. We've got an amp and a half going in there. And then I will try a big car battery booster with one of these crappy 50, 60 watt inverters, 20 amp. It won't pull 20 amp, so I'll stick it into a 10 amp socket because it's only pulling, I think this charges on an amp. So the fan's kicked in. 0. Oh, it's going up. 1.4 amps. Yeah, 1.4 amps. That's good. So it's about half an amp for that being used, and that's pulling about an amp. So I'm on 1.4 amps. We'll plug the USB back in. Battery bank. We'll put in 1.6 amps. Battery's a bit low, 11.9, just dropped. Back up to 12.2. Right, so that's that all working. Blue lights are looking pretty nifty. That's it for today. I just realised I was going to put an inverter on the back, and I'll draw the hole for the input for the solar panel. So I might have to work that out, and I'm not sure if I'm putting a 300 watt inverter in here or an 800 watt inverter. But these crappy little things, that does my Chromebook, the cordless charger, cordless Hoover, adapters like this, so I might just leave this in the box. And we'll make a lid another day, but for the main thing at the moment, it's up and running. Recycled parts, just stuff I'd laid around. I pinched this off another project. I've got a similar charge controller, but it doesn't display it all. You have to go through each one separately. Small room, I can't even get far enough back to fit it in one shot. There's my toolbox. All day I've been kicking on it. Got a nice little hole in my trousers now, as I left the drawer open. Got to clear all the shit away, but yeah, just testing stuff out. 90 amp hours in total, so probably 45 usable. I went with 2 batteries, as I said before in other videos. I prefer 2, because if I have one big battery and then it breaks, I'm knackered. But if one of these batteries, because we've been away once, when I had 2 16 amp hour batteries in the solar box for camping, and one of them packed up, so I just removed it and ran off 1 16 amp hour battery instead of 2. So there's 2 45 amp hour batteries in here. If one of these break, if I'm away camping or something, I'll just take it out of line and just run off 1 battery. That worked in Wales. But yeah, that's the front. I'm going to paint it green or something. Put some caster wheels on it and make a lid. But at the moment, I think I'll just throw it in the shack and I can run the radios off it, the lights. Yeah. Yeah, well, there's the lid, but definitely that's for another day. I've got no hinges, or no screws that fit the hinges. Wait, shut up. So I'm going to order some hinges, some handles, and work out where to put this plug socket on the cat. So if I do put the 300 watt inverter in there, a plug socket around the front. But yeah, the lid's cut to size. I just, screws I've got are too small or too big. I might just order a piano hinge. Right, catch you on the next video.